Hi, this message is brought to you by CHA, the Certified Horsemanship Association. My name is Michal Kays. I'm a CHA certified instructor, and this is Izzy, my American quarter horse. And we're going to show you today about tying your horse safely. The first thing you want to consider is what you're tying to. You want to tie to a really nice solid rail that is secured into the posts, and the posts are anchored deep into the ground. The height of your rail should be at least as high as your horse's point of shoulder and preferably closer to the height of their withers. This is in case a horse would happen to pull back while being tied, they have less leverage against the rope. This rail is probably just a little short for this particular horse. You want to make sure that you use a very sturdy rope when tying a horse, that it has a very sturdy, strong snap to it as well. It is much safer for your horse if you tie with a flat halter versus a rope halter, as that disperses the pressure on the horse's head, again, in case some emergency should happen. You want to give your horse about 12 to 18 inches of rope for freedom to move around comfortably, but not so long that they can get themselves into trouble with the rope. Horses should be tied with what we call a quick release knot. A quick release simply means that I can undo the knot that the horse is tied with one pull on the end of the rope. There are many variations of a quick release knot, and I'm going to show you one of the more commonly ones used in tying your horse. When you come up to the rail, you're going to place your rope over the rail, come around, grab onto it, give it a twist, again keeping in mind the length of rope the horse has, make another loop, stick it through the first loop, and pull it tight. And then secure it straight to the rail. If your horse has a tendency to play with the end and wants to untie it, you can just hang this through that loop to help secure it in place. I will show you that again, slower. You place the rope over the rail. The reason you want to go over versus under is it gives a little bit more height to your rope. You're going to grab the bottom rope and you're going to turn it that your hand turns towards you. Okay? This allows the bottom rope to be underneath of the two ropes. Then you're going to make another loop, sticking the second loop inside of the first loop, and then pulling the second loop tight, sliding it up to the rail. Some people or kids, if you're teaching this, are very visual. If you look at the pattern you make with the rope twist, it makes a fish. And you can take that fish, or you can tell the kids that you make a fish, jump the fish over the rope, bite its tail, and pull it through like that. Another thing I wanted to caution you about when tying a knot is do not stick your hand all the way through any of these loops. For if your horse would happen to react and jerk his head at just the wrong time, you could damage your fingers in a way you would not appreciate. So you want to hold the rope like this, stick the loops through, and keep your fingers clear of the rope. When you need to tie your horse up to a wall ring or to the side of your horse trailer or even to a hitching line, one of the easiest and most safest ways you can do this is using what we call a daisy chain, which is another quick release knot. You take the end of your rope, you give your horse about enough tension that they will be comfortable without getting themselves in trouble. You stick it through your ring, you give the rope a twist so that you see a twist in the rope, make a loop, stick it through the loop that you created, pull it tight, make another loop, and you can make as many loops as you need to all the way down your daisy chain. The advantage of this kind of a tie is I can grab that end of that rope, pull it, and it totally releases the horse from the wall, and I still have a hold of the horse by the end of the rope. Oftentimes we think it is okay to tie a horse to any fence, any post and rail, and a fence post like this, you can see these rails could easily be pushed out by the horse. There's also a protruding screw sticking out of this rail right here. If you do have a fence line like this that you're tying to that doesn't have any safety projections, you need to tie to the post versus the rail and actually wrap the rope around the post in tying them, and you need to make sure that that post is really sturdy and in the ground well. I hope these safety tips brought to you by the Certified Horsemanship Association are very helpful to you about tying your horse both safely and effectively.